Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the Extraordinary Drummer Show. Again today, I tell you, when you talk about God blessing you, this is one guy that I really wanted on the show. I wanted him on the show for many reasons. One of the things we're going to discuss is his generation. I truly believe it was his generation that was the innovators that moved drumming forward. And I'll tell you what I mean a little bit more about that. You know, I started writing down some credits from him, and I decided I was just going to say, everybody. I just said, and I didn't say, I said everybody. He's played with everybody. He's played on some great records that you may know. Would you help me welcome, please, number one at his craft, number one in the business, Brian Frasier Moore. Hey, Brian.
Hey, sir. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Extraordinary Drummer Show.
Thank you.
How's your day going today?
It's going great, man. Just had a quick consultation, and now I'm here having a great talk with one of my OGs. I mean, it can't get any better.
Brian, have I really made it to the OG status?
Yeah, whether you want to say it or not, you are official with all due respect, OG. Absolutely.
Thank you, brother. Coming from you, man, I tell you, that means a lot to me, man. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about so much with you. But in getting started, I want to ask you, how was your day? I'll ask you, how you holding up in this pandemic and this COVID situation and all this protests and stuff that's going on out here?
Man, it's crazy. I just really wish the world was in a better place. That's number one. Number two, for our culture, you know, I just want everyone to stay strong and stay focused and vote and make change and support Black businesses and all of these things for our culture so we can get ahead. And number three is for this music industry. Golly, I've never lived in a time like this. Not to be able to express your craft, not to be able to, for people to go out and make money for their families and their lifestyle. And it can be a tough thing, but I also believe this is the time to really research and study and up your craft and do things that could give you more credibility when this thing blows over, or even during the time that it's doing it. So it's a bad time, but it's also a time to really push forward to create better opportunities.
Are you using this time? You said I can't imagine you working on your chops. I don't think that's something that you need.
I don't know about that, but I will tell you that I do go in the room and sit down and really express over music. You know, chops is, I don't know, that really doesn't interest me like that, but to be able to freely express over pieces of music is everything. So that might be my practice, you know.
Let's go way back. Let's go back to the beginning. I was reading here that you started playing drums when you were 6 years old. How did that come about? How did you know that you wanted to be a drummer?
I mean, besides the natural love, I grew up in church. So my father was a guitar player first, and then he became a preacher. And my mother was always involved in church, singing on the choir, usher board, and all that. So I really didn't have a choice. Like, you know, get up, play the drums. It's time to play. Sunday morning, be on time. If you're not on time, you can't play the drums. If you don't go to Sunday school, you can't play the drums. You can't play the offering song. So I grew up with that influence from my parents. So natural interest with my surroundings, I think, pushed me into it.
What were you seeing that? I mean, okay, I'll ask it this way. Who were some of the drummers that you was hearing in those in formidable years that were impressionable to you?
Oh my God. Okay. Anthony Spike McCrae. Okay. He played on the Hawkins. He played on a lot of the Hawkins records. He was a Philadelphia legend. Garfield Williams, who went to my church, who was a Philadelphia legend. You got Jeff Davis. You had Joel Smith. You had Baker. Oh God, he's gonna kill me. Terry Baker, that was playing with Bobby Jones way back then. One of the first guys I saw on TV. I'm like, you can do that? Like you can play a show on TV? I didn't know that. But these were all like monsters, bro. That they shaped the industry. And then once I got out of church, then it was like a whole world of. I was like, oh, okay, this is this. We have OGs and forefathers that have paved the road for us to even let us know that this is possible. And that's something I'm really big on. So I had a bunch of OGs and a bunch of my legends that I could look at, for example.
Let me ask you to stand with the church, and then we'll move forward. So that's church music. Now, this other music is considered secular.
Hmm.
What were you thinking, and what were your parents and everybody in the church thinking when you started moving towards secular?
It was tough. I mean, as you can imagine, we grew up good Christian folks, like in church 6 out of 7 days a week. So when opportunities started to present themselves around Philadelphia for me to play, go to the studio and play on Eric Benet's record, or James Porter was producing this record, so I would go over there and play on that record, or CC Peniston. That was really like one of my first times playing secular music. When I would come back to the church, it would be hard for them to understand that I was still me, regardless of what style of music that I was playing. So it was tough at first, but as the gigs started getting bigger, people started to understand a little better.
Take me to high school. What was going on with drums as you started moving towards high school?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like they didn't know I played drums. I only played in church and played around town at some of the clubs, but I didn't get into drumming in school. Period. Until about 10th grade for the jazz band, and uh, and it was a little bit of time, and then I stopped it. I wasn't really active with playing drums in school, just everywhere else. I was playing at church. I was at Larry Go's studio. I was recording records. I was playing at all the clubs around town. I was doing all that. I was working at Gamble and Huff, Philly Internationals. There with Billy Paul. I used to go up the room, talk to Huff and Billy Paul. I used to make me Bunny Sigler. They used to all make me laugh. But not in school.
You once worked at was it a law firm, and you was an editor,
Yeah.
and
So
you almost got into that, but the drums meant a little more, huh?
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it was a law firm that my dad was working at the time, and he got me down there, and then here I am, printing results of court cases, obituaries, doing all of this stuff in this paper called the Legal Intelligencer. And so I would do that during the week, and then I would go play on the weekends, and that's where I found my love. I'm like, okay, I'm making a little bit more money over here. I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm on stage. I'm networking, and that was my decision right there. You know, I decided to try the music full time.
How do you? What is the thought pattern to play that stuff where it sounds like you're putting fusion in regular 2 and 4? What is the thought pattern that makes that come out? It makes it clean. You're able to get back to 1, but there's a drum solo between 4 and 1.
Hmm. Well, me personally, I tend to think my style is more energy based. When depending on the artist who you're working with, I can have an artist like Charlie Wilson that respects and grew up on 2 and 4 being strong, right? And so that's that particular artist. But then I can go over to Usher, who knows nothing about that, right? And that will say, "Hey, I want energy, 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 energy." So I have to figure it out. And you try and you see what he likes. That's the part that people don't see in rehearsal. They think you just understand what you're supposed to do off the rip. But in rehearsals, what happens is a lot of trial and error. Let me see what kind of energy this guy likes. You know, yeah, yeah, I like that. Okay, you like that kind of energy. So what I see it as, me personally, is me actually doing my job. according to what that artist, what that musical director arranges, what kind of style he fits. Because my music would just be straight fusion. For my record, what I'm doing, you have reggae, you have Afro-Cuban, you have all of these different styles because that's me. But when people see you playing with an artist, sometimes they judge the player as that type of player instead of that player being on a job.
Your credits reads like, if we can bring in your credits, as I said, reads like the who and who, the who's who, if I may read a few, excuse my glasses. Jill Scott. Is this right? Teddy Pendergrass?
Teddy P, y'all, it's Philadelphia all day.
I just looked down and said, nah, he didn't work with Teddy P.
Yeah.
Turn him on.
Yeah, that was my dude.
We got to talk about Teddy P. Backstreet Boys, Justin Timberlake, Sierra, Christina Aguilera, Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Madonna, and just keep scrolling all, you'd be here all day naming all of these. Let me ask you about, we did say Teddy Pendergrass. Man,
Yeah.
what's that like?
Once again, this was at the time early in my career. I was still living in Philadelphia. So that was just a round the town connection. Patti LaBelle, I played at Shea LaBelle's club with Patti. Teddy Pendergrass, Bunny Sigler, Gamble and Huff. This is the smorgasbord that was in Philadelphia around that time.
You were currently doing, is it the Justin Timberlake gig?
That was the last one. That was the last thing
one.
I did.
What was that like?
We did 2 tours with him. Amazing. He's a great guy. He makes you feel a part of the band. He makes you your input, your creative input. He's always open to. His personality is like family. He's a hard worker, super professional, super perfectionist, and just a great guy. I mean, I have nothing bad to say. So just a great all-around guy. Very talented.
Janet Jackson, what was it like working with her?
So the first tour, that was a big change in my career. I had been with Christina Aguilera, and then I went to Janet, which was an audition. So Janet was there. Roger Davies was there. He was her manager at the time. So I have to tell this story because this accredits always being prepared, right? So I had played with Usher. It was an Usher Live recording that we did. And I went out on tour with Usher. And Usher was opening for Janet Jackson Velvet Rope Tour. And my brother, brother from Philly, Little John Roberts, that's my guy. He was playing with Janet at that time. I had never done anything like Janet. I was in awe. Like, I was just looking at him like, bro, you made it. Like, I've never seen anything like this. Okay, so fast forward. John wasn't able to do the next one. He was going out with someone else. They had auditions. And during the audition process, it was a medley that they did on the Velvet Rope Tour. So I came in and I knew the medley. And Janet was there. And I said, oh, God. I said, this is so perfect. Because I remember the medley. I heard this medley every night. I watched their show every night. So we played the medley. I'm playing the accents that the dancers would do. She gets up. She starts kind of like making moves. I'm like, oh, God, please let this go the right way. Long story short, they called me back. She was very, very sweet. She's a sweetheart, man. I remember coming into rehearsals and she had a case and she had laminates all over the cases. It was just a ton of laminates. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm learning everybody's name. And I was just like you're human. Like, and you appeal to humans. Like, I love you. So it's, long story short, she's a great person to work with. Professional, perfectionist, hard worker, very precise, and knowledgeable of music all around.
What was it like working with Madonna?
Madonna, once again, perfectionist, knows what she wants, the best at her craft at what she does. Very particular on sounds, very particular on triggers. You know, trigger you have to you can't play with Madonna and just play acoustic drums. You can't play with Janet Jackson now and just play acoustic drums. You have to trigger sounds, and that's the name of the game for those kind of gigs now. So uh, she's she's a boss though. Let me tell you, she's a beast of a boss. So you know, just your personal demeanor, your patience, your understanding, your realization of who you are has nothing to do with playing. Has to be at your top of your game, because to be able to handle those personalities, you know, like that.
Playing your drum kit on those high-profile gigs, and it's not a lot of acoustics, it's a lot of electronics. Do you feel like you're in control back there as a drummer?
Oh, absolutely, because my process is really taking those sounds. I'm not leaving major snares and kicks and auxiliary parts on the track. I'm not. I'm going to take those off. I'm going to run them through my system, and I'm going to play those sounds. So I might not feel like an acoustic drummer, but I don't only want to be an acoustic drummer. I want to be a producer drummer. I want to be an electronics drummer. I want to be all states or aspects of a drummer. So I don't feel like I get lost. I actually feel like I'm stepping up to a challenge that people rarely do.
Talk about, I want to talk about the drum kit, but I think it'll be better I talk about endorsements and then go to that.
Okay.
What drums do you use? What endorsements are you using, and why?
Okay, I'm with Pearl Drums, Sabian Cymbals, Evans Drum Heads, Vader Sticks, Roland Electronics. I am with SE Mics, Magambi Cables, Drum Static Custom Heads. I have to look in the studio. And I Iora Virtual Reality, which is a whole nother subject. But that's it as far as drums are concerned. So Roland is my electronics company. Oh, and I use DAWs pads sometimes. But electronics is from Roland. That's the TD50, the SPDSX, the Roland triggers. All of those things are from Roland.
How many Super Bowls have you done?
I just did the third one this year, earlier this year, the third one.
Before I get to those drum kits, what's it like sitting under 3 billion people playing drums?
And it's just so many things go through your mind. You know, it's exciting, it's nerve wracking, it's rewarding, it's it validates things for you. Not like, oh, I'm the man or anything, but you know, everyone has insecurities. Everyone has things that they overthink and things like that. And sometimes you need things like that to happen for yourself, just to show that you can do it, or it is possible. So all of these emotions just go through your head. But when that click track go off and it's time to perform, I got to put all those things aside because I got to concentrate.
I mean, when an electronic problem happens, how do you fix it? How do you fix it when it's locked into timing?
Well, that's a good question. Earlier on, when I was getting my method down, there was a lot of troubleshooting. But through the mistakes of patches not switching, sounds not coming through, we have an A and B system now that we set up that runs simultaneously. So all of my patches and everything in my world runs off of its own power, and there is a main and a backup that runs simultaneously. So we're not having those problems.
What if I'm asked, what is the backup? What is the backup? Is it the same system?
Same system.
On the side.
Same system with a AB switch that's controlled by my tech. Because like I said, working with Madonna or an artist like that expect things to be perfect when things are never going to be perfect, you have to come up with something.
We do a thing on the show we call word of advice. You've probably seen it before, and what it is I asked the drummers, I asked the guests if they would give a parting word to the up-and-coming drummers, or even the guys who are established that's trying to get traction in their career, in their life. And some of the guys that already are hitting, but want to get to the next level. What would you say to those guys?
For a universal answer for people who might be getting into the business, people who might be trying to rekindle their thing to get current, it's really all about research. And this is why I say this. Research, younger guys that are trying to get into the game, research our OGs. Research the music and everything that they set down. It's going to give you the best blueprint for life. I promise you. It's going to give you the foundation. It's going to give you everything that you need to understand why you're doing what you're doing, period. And I stand on that. That's all my OGs. I study them. Now, at the same time, we all have to study what's happening on the social media thing right now, because it's a whole different world out there when you got Spotify and Apple Music and things like this controlling the sales of our music. The times have completely changed. So I just really believe if you want to be in this industry in any type of capacity, whether you're new, whether you were there and you're trying to come back, you just have to research the times. You have to research the times and what people are doing or what they did, and just get as much information as possible and execute. Of course, you have to practice. Of course, you have to, be good at your craft. Of course, you have to be a great person. So I'm taking for granted that we already have these things. But when it's time to strike, you really got to research the industry that you want to be in and the machinery of how it's moving to be effective. That's my personal belief.
Do drummers still, speaking of business, it's called show business, do drummers still need a package, the resume, the bio, the whole package still?
I think so, man. I mean, just the respect to our art and our craft. We need to lay it out so people can know. There are people that know, and there's some people that don't know. And you want to probably present your art and your craft and possibly your business in the best way possible. So I say yes to put together a presentation or a package or a bio and all of that things, because you deserve it. You work hard for it.
Do you use one at all?
Absolutely. I got everything. I got a bio, I got a write-up, I got captions for all my services. This is my wife. I'm not bragging. My wife really stays on me and does a lot of this stuff. But we have everything, because we don't automatically assume that everyone is going to be familiar with us. You know what
I mean? I thought I was going to ask this question. We have the same last name, Cheron Moore. You didn't know that, but did you know that?
Absolutely.
Say, somewhere on this tree, Brian. Somewhere on this tree.
I think we family, bro. I think we family.
Brian, there's an uncle, an aunt, a grandmama, a cousin somewhere out there, Brian.
We got to figure this out, yo.
We got to figure this out. Because a Moore is a Moore. I don't care what you say.
Absolutely.
And somewhere on that tree, somebody somewhere was in Philly that made it. Because anyway, I truly hope we have that conversation one day, get to talking about family, and we just might bump into somebody who knew somebody who was.
Absolutely.
Never know, man.
Never know.
You just never know. What would you want to say to the audience? I've never done this before. In closing, what would you want to say to the Extraordinary Drummer audience that's listening?
At this particular time that where we are in this world, I first want to say stay encouraged. Please be safe. Wear your mask. Take care of your family so we can get this world back to where we're going. And I'd also like to say to this audience that keep doing your thing. Keep pushing. You got this. You can do this. We're community together, so we might not touch each other, but mentally we are there together. So continue to keep doing. You guys keep pushing, stay encouraged, and stay safe. And that's from my heart.
What an awesome brother you are, man.
Thank you, man.
Awesome brother, man.
Thank you.
You have every, and I say this in just and respectfully, you have every right to stick your chest out. You know, you as James Brown said, you paid the cost to be the boss. And you have every right, and you don't. And it's just awesome meeting you, man.
My pleasure, man. Pleasure to be on here with you, one of my OGs in this game that's been on here doing the thing forever. Thank you for doing what you do and for laying the blueprint and setting the legacy, man. So you need to hear that as well as all my other OGs. So thank you for that.
It always make me feel good when I hear the drummers. I didn't think I'd made it to OG status. I said that to a Freddie Holiday. He said, "Oh,
yeah,
he's an OG."
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for being on the Extraordinary Drummer Show, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Would you help us wave to the audience goodbye?
Goodbye. Bye-bye. How about this one? Bye-bye.
Hey, stay there. Let me stop the recording. I got a few things that I want to pass by you.
Okay.
All righty.